guys, welcome back to the Elevate podcast. My name's Em. If you don't know, now you know. This is going to be your weekly little dose of health, wellness, fitnessy, lifestyle shit. So let's chat about it. How are you guys? First of all, I just want to apologize. Whether you're listening just on audio or if you're watching on YouTube, this episode's a little bit of a shit show. First of all, I'm in my dining room at my desk, which means I have a lamp right in front of me and the mic is here. It's a mess. I ran out of daylight today. I meant to record all weekend and then I had a not great weekend, so I didn't record at all. So now we're recording at 6 p.m. and I also am pretty sure that my upstairs neighbors are moving currently and they're packing all their shit. So that's loud. Okay, fun fact, fun story. So I never have my front door unlocked, ever. But I ran downstairs to bring Isabel her binder while I was doing my meal prep because she forgot it. And when I came back up, I was like, oh my god, my chicken is in the oven and it's gonna burn. So I ran into the kitchen to get this food out of the oven, didn't relock the front door. Finished meal prepping, don't notice that the door is unlocked, go to the washroom to start getting ready to record, and I hear my front door open. And I was like, oh, my sister was not supposed to be home tonight. Who the fuck is in my front door? Walk out, turn the corner, and I see this man peering into my kitchen, and I go, hello? And he goes, oh. I was like, get out. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm pretty sure it's the dad or the brother or something of the upstairs neighbors, because then he walked upstairs. But anyways, this is why you lock your door. I have one of those, detachable door locks because I'm a psycho. Also, I have a knife beside my bed because I'm psycho and I'm convinced that people are gonna murder me. Anyways, that's fine. How are you guys? How was your week? I had an eventful week. My car got towed home, so that's fun. It wasn't working. I talked about this in the vlog. I'm trying to vlog again, guys. It's a whole thing, but I talked more about this in the vlog. So if you want to listen to the story of my car, go watch the vlog. That is hopefully going to be up tomorrow. Other than that, not terrible week. Does mean that I haven't really been able to leave my house or go to the gym. Plus, I was painfully sick all week, so I didn't train anyways. So I'm excited to go back to the gym tomorrow, even though it's just going to be the gym at my work. But that's fine. I think my dad is being an angel and bringing my car up Wednesday. So by the time you guys listen to this, hopefully I will have my car back. But anyways, I hope you guys had a good week. We've got a doozy of an episode today, guys. Quick 2-minute blurb before we get into the actual episode. If you want to just listen to what we're chatting about, skip a couple seconds, skip a little bit here. So we changed the name of the podcast. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. It's a whole thing, but part of that was me trying to determine what I want from the podcast going forward. I love the way, I love the format of episodes that we've had in the past where it's more chit-chatty, less researched, because I think that's fun. But also I do want to introduce more research-heavy episodes, if that's okay with y'all, because the little STEM nerd in me misses having, presentations to give people, and I miss doing heavy research on certain topics. So anyways, it's not going to be every episode. I'm not turning into Huberman Lab where every single episode is heavy 4-hour research episodes. No diss to Huberman. At work, I'm normally the first one there, so I get to pick what goes on the TV. 9 times out of 10 in the past month, it's been Huberman Lab, and I just make people listen to 4-hour podcast episodes, and I don't care. I'm trying to reel it in because I'm really stoked to talk about what we're talking about today. I just need my anxiety to chill a little bit. I haven't had any caffeine. I don't drink caffeine for the actual caffeine content because ADHD doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't magically give me energy. I like the taste of it, and sometimes it helps with my attention span, but it does give me horrific anxiety. So I haven't had any caffeine in a couple days. I'm still terribly anxious, but that's fine. Anyways, so we're just gonna get into it. So if you read the title, props to you, or if you just blindly click on every single one of these episodes because you are incredible and listen to every one, then great, then you probably don't know what we're talking about. But I really wanted to talk about the relationship between your gut and your brain and how that connection works, how your nutrition affects every other aspect of your life, because I think as we go into this season of life, whether that's we're still talking about winter arc, that's still a thing, we're getting into New Year's resolutions, we're getting into like not bucket lists, vision boards is the word I'm trying to think. We're just getting into that whole part of life, which this happens every year. It's not a shocking thing that this is happening, but we're just getting to that part in the year where people are wanting to dedicate a good chunk of their time to making self-growth and making change, and that's great. But I think there is a lot of undereducation when it comes to the effect that your food and your nutrition has on every other aspect of your health and wellness. So I thought we would just talk about that. We're going to kind of do a deep dive into the world of gut-brain connection, explore how foods we eat have a profound impact on both your mental and physical well-being. Between mood regulation to immune function, your gut is more than just a digestive system. It's a key player in your overall health. So we're going to discuss how nutrition affects everything, from energy levels to mental clarity, and just get a little bit of a better understanding between the link of your gut to your brain and how this can help for better health outcomes. I do also just want to give heads up, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I have no formal training in nutrition. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I say that every single time I do one of these heavier episodes. If there's something that you want to research more, or there's something that you want to understand better, then do that. I always recommend taking it upon yourself to do research and to properly educate yourself. I'm just giving you the basics. So essentially, the biggest intersection of your brain and your gut and how they connect is your gut-brain axis. Essentially, your gut-brain axis is a complex bidirectional communication system which links your digestive system, or your gut, to your brain. This connection is much more than a simple link between digestion and mental health. It involves a sophisticated network of signals that influence everything from your emotions and cognitive function to your immune response and overall well-being. A big chunk of the neurological connection between your gut and your brain happens at this gut-brain axis. So the way that signals are typically sent through this gut-brain axis are contributed to both the vagus nerve and the microbiome. The vagus nerve acts almost like a highway, you could say, for signals, which it transmits information from the gut to the brain and vice versa. It is such a crucial part to what is known as the parasympathetic nervous system. Your parasympathetic nervous system does a lot of things, but some of the biggest things that it does is it regulates your rest and your digestion. The vagus nerve essentially sends sensory information about the condition of your gut to your brain. So that's things like your fullness, like how full you are, if you're in pain, if you're having some inflammation in your gut. The brain can also send signals to the gut, such as regulating motility. If you don't know what motility is, it's essentially how food moves through your intestines. Another big part is your microbiome, which you've probably heard a million times. All of the wellness gurus love using the word microbiome, and I feel like a lot of people don't quite understand the complexity of it. The gut is home to trillions and trillions and trillions of microorganisms that are crucial in the gut to brain communication. These microbes can influence brain function in such a variety of ways. Some strains of gut bacteria can produce neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are things such as serotonin, dopamine, GABA. A healthy balance of these microbes can promote feelings of well-being, while an imbalance is typically referred to as dysbiosis, that can contribute to mental health issues such as depression and anxiety. Dysbiosis in the gut can also lead to systemic inflammation, which has been linked to various neuropsychiatric conditions. Chronic low-grade inflammation can affect the blood-brain barrier, leading to brain dysfunction, cognitive decline, and other mental health problems. Research has also shown that individuals with conditions like depression, anxiety, autism spectrum disorder, which is ASD now, and even schizophrenia may have imbalances in their gut microbiome. Also, just pre-tidbit on the connection between mental health and your stomach. I am not saying that all mental health conditions are related to your stomach and your gut. I'm also not saying that just because you have an issue with your stomach or your gut means that you have a mental health disorder. Making a very clear boundary between those two things now. Correlation is not causation. But we'll get into that. Anyways, in fact, fecal transplants from healthy donors have shown potential in improving symptoms of these conditions, highlighting the gut-brain link. So there is a big correlation between them, but does not mean that one always equals the other. And I think that that's something that people like to use as an argument, is we don't have to get into that. But essentially, all I'm saying for right now, just because you have microbiome and gut issues does not mean you are going to develop or you have a mental health disorder. Also, you could have a mental health disorder and also have microbiome issues and them not be related at all. But studies are showing more and more that there is sometimes a correlation between the two of them. So again, your gut microbiome influences neurotransmitter production a couple different ways. About 90% of your body's serotonin, which serotonin is like a key mood regulating neurotransmitter, about 90% of it is produced in the gut by specialized enteric neurons and gut bacteria. The presence of certain beneficial bacteria can promote serotonin production, which plays a major role in mood regulation, emotional well-being, and your sleep. Serotonin has a huge impact on your sleep. As much as people like to say that it doesn't, it truly does. The gut microbiome also produces dopamine, which is involved in pleasure, reward, and motivation. Imbalances in gut bacteria can affect dopamine production, influencing mood disorders like depression and anxiety. Dopamine, we've talked about it a million times. There's things like dopamine detoxes and stuff. Dopamine also has a huge correlation to ADHD. I don't touch a ton about that in here because ADHD is like a whole nother realm of complexity when it comes to stuff, but dopamine does have a huge correlation to ADHD, which is why a lot of people who have ADHD also have issues with their relationship with food, and that's in part because of the dopamine that comes from your microbiome. Some gut bacteria also produces GABA, which, if you don't know what GABA is, it's gamma aminobutyric acid, which is an inhibitory neurotransmitter that helps calm the nervous system and reduces anxiety. An imbalance in your gut bacteria that can reduce your GABA production, potentially leading to heightened stress or anxiety. Gut microbes also produce short-chain fatty acids, or like SCFAs is the abbreviation for them. Some examples of SCFAs are butyrate, acetate, and propionate. And they produce these short-chain fatty acids through the fermentation of fiber. SCFAs play a role in brain health by supporting the blood-brain barrier and reducing inflammation, which can indirectly affect the production and function of neurotransmitters. The vagus nerve, we already talked about this a little bit, is a major communication pathway between the gut and the brain. It allows gut bacteria to send signals directly to the brain. These signals can influence the brain's neurotransmitter systems, which helps to modulate mood, cognitive, and stress responses. A healthy, balanced microbiome promotes the production of neurotransmitters that support positive mood and cognitive function. However, an imbalanced microbiome, which is that dysbiosis, can disrupt this production and has been linked to mood disorders, anxiety, depression. It's even been linked to neurodevelopmental conditions such as autism spectrum disorder or ASD. Again, do your own research if that's something that pertains to you or your situation. I can't go into everything in one episode. We would be here for 24 hours. So there is a link between dysbiosis and mental health conditions. Again, anxiety, depression, etc., etc. Dysbiosis refers to an imbalance or disruption in the gut microbiome, the community of bacteria and other microbes living in your digestive system. This imbalance can have a significant impact on both physical and mental health. So a healthy gut microbiome plays a key role in producing those neurotransmitters. When the gut microbiome is suffering from dysbiosis, it can disrupt the production and function of those neurotransmitters. It has it can relate to a million other things. Dysbiosis can lead to increased gut permeability, or also known as like leaky gut syndrome, where harmful bacteria and toxins leak into the bloodstream from your gut. This triggers an inflammatory response, which can travel to the brain via the bloodstream and the vagus nerve. You're going to hear me say vagus nerve a lot of times this episode. Sorry, guys. Chronic inflammation is strongly linked to mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety by disrupting the brain function and increasing the risk of neuropsychiatric disorders. Dysbiosis has also been linked to an overactive stress response in the body, which affects the body's ability to regulate cortisol. Another buzzword that you've probably heard 8 million times just this week. I do eventually want to do an episode like this about cortisol and cortisol levels, but that one's going to take me a while because it's been a long time since I did heavy research about cortisol and other stress hormones. But essentially, chronic high levels of cortisol can contribute to anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues by disrupting the brain function and your mood regulation. All of that to say, your gut is affecting your brain. Your gut is making you depressed. I'm kidding. Your gut is not making you depressed, but it might have a link to heightened anxiety and depression due to the dysfunction of your gut. There is some things that you can do to help contribute to a healthy brain and to brain health. Some of these are like omega-3 fatty acids, you all know that, probiotics, prebiotics, and fiber. Omega-3 fatty acids, the role that they play in brain function, particularly DHA. So DHA, or also known as docosahexaenoic acid, I don't think I pronounced that right. The amount of times that I've written that word, and I still don't know how to pronounce it, but that's fine. That acid, they're essential for brain structure and function. DHA is a major component of brain cell membranes, and it's involved in the formation of your neurotransmitters. Omega-3s also help reduce the inflammation in your brain, which is oftentimes linked to cognitive decline, depression, even things such as like neurodegenerative disorders and diseases like Alzheimer's. Research also shows that omega-3s can help alleviate symptoms of depression and anxiety by supporting healthy brain cell communication and reducing inflammation. I think the difficult part with nutrition and people understanding nutrition is there's so many sources of information, whether that's creators that you're watching on TikTok or on YouTube, from doctors to nutritionists. So many people have alternative and different ideas about what things do. Probiotics is a very again, kind of buzzword lately in the last 5 years in the wellness community. They are important. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria that help maintain a healthy balance of gut microbes. A healthy gut microbiome is crucial for the production of neurotransmitters. Some studies suggest that probiotics can help alleviate symptoms of anxiety, depression, and stress by promoting a healthy brain-gut connection. Probiotics may help modulate the body's stress response by influencing the gut-brain axis, reducing cortisol levels, and promoting relaxation. Here's the reality of probiotics. Talk to your doctor. That's what I say about everything. Take, everything that I'm saying today, if you decide to make a change to your nutrition or your wellness, talk to your doctor. I am not a doctor. Go get your blood work done. Take the necessary steps before you start taking a million vitamins. Probiotics could potentially be harmful to you if you have an overabundance of those certain strains of probiotics. Talk to your doctor. There's also things like prebiotics. Prebiotics are non-digestible fibers that feed beneficial gut bacteria. By supporting the growth of healthy bacteria, prebiotics help maintain gut balance, which is vital for your brain health, obviously. Healthy gut bacteria, which is oftentimes fueled by those prebiotics, help produce short-chain fatty acids, which reduce inflammation in the brain, again, and improve mood regulation. These SCFAs also support the blood-brain barrier, which protects the brain from harmful toxins. Prebiotics may help improve your learning and your memory, overall brain function by promoting a healthy gut microbiome that communicates effectively with the brain. And last is fiber. Fiber, especially soluble fibers, acts kind of like a prebiotic. So again, that's the other thing. If you are taking supplemental fiber and you're also taking supplemental prebiotics, talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor. Otherwise, you're just pissing shit out for the most part. But anyways, fiber acts as a prebiotic, which feeds good gut bacteria. A fiber-rich diet helps ensure that the gut microbiome is well-balanced and functioning optimally. High-fiber diets support the production of short-chain fatty acids, like butyrate, which helps reduce systemic inflammation. Studies have also shown that diets rich in fiber can improve mood and reduce anxiety by promoting a healthier microbiome, which influences the production of mood-regulating neurotransmitters. There is supplemental things that you can take to help boost the nutrition that is leading to a healthy gut and microbiome. Talk to people who have education in this field rather than relying on some 22-year-old bimbo on the internet who dropped out of university. You know what I'm saying? As much as, yes, I want to help provide helpful information that can help you make a change in your life, also take accountability in the fact that you should talk to healthcare professionals about this information. There is also some gut-friendly food. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of gut-friendly foods. These are some foods that can really help promote that mental clarity that is also promoting a healthy microbiome. Fermented foods. Fermented foods are super rich in probiotics, which are beneficial bacteria that support gut health. These are things such as yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut. I hate sauerkraut. Miso, kombucha, if you like kombucha, and pickles if they're fermented in a brine. Fiber acts as food for beneficial gut bacteria, which, again, the prebiotics. It helps them thrive and maintain a balanced microbiome. Some examples of fiber-rich foods are whole grains such as oats, quinoa, brown rice, legumes such as beans and lentils, fruits such as apples, bananas, berries, and then vegetables, of course, leafy greens, broccoli, and carrots. Also root vegetables. The only example I have is sweet potatoes, but root vegetables are really typically high in fiber. So they're also good for your brain. Healthy fats, obviously. We talked about omega-3 fatty acids. Some other things are like fatty fish, such as salmon or mackerel, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, olive oil. Don't be scared of olive oil. Throw some chia seeds if you make like overnight oats, or even, I know some people like drink their chia seeds. I personally don't because I don't like the texture, but I do love chia seeds in yogurt and overnight oats. Also like some prebiotic foods. These contain specific types of fiber that feed the good bacteria. Things like garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, bananas, especially unripe bananas. Fun fact, as bananas go more yellow, the protein and the structure of them actually changes. So unripe bananas, typically speaking, are the highest in. Artichokes and apples are also really good. I don't like artichokes. I wish I did. Also, like, there's a million other foods. Like bone broth, for example, is really, really good for you. Bone broth is super rich in collagen and amino acids like glutamine. It also helps support gut lining integrity, which reduces inflammation and promotes healing in your gut. Polyphenols are plant compounds that help nourish beneficial gut bacteria and reduce harmful bacteria. These are things such as like berries, green tea, dark chocolate is really good for polyphenols, olive oil, nuts, and seeds. People like to overcomplicate the idea of having balanced and healthy nutrition, when in reality, a good chunk of it just comes down to like, hey, what are the food groups that they told you to eat every day in like second grade? All of these things that people have told us since the beginning of time that you should eat because it's good for you. Hey, guess what? You should eat it because it's good for you. In the human body, when the human body is stressed, your body activates the fight or flight response. There's also like, there's fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. That's more of like the mental aspect. Physically speaking, your body typically goes into fight or flight response, which releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones prepare the body to respond to perceived threats, but they also affect the gut in several ways. During stress, blood flow is redirected away from the digestive system to muscles and vital organs, which can slow down your digestion and reduce gut motility, which again, your motility is like the movement of food through your intestines, essentially. Stress can also either speed up or slow down gut movement. This can lead to conditions like diarrhea, which is when the gut moves too quickly, or constipation when digestive slows down. So, hey, shockingly, if you're like super stressed all the time in life and then you have issues with digestion and all of these things, might be because you're stressed. Chronic stress can contribute to increased intestinal permeability, which again, also known as leaky gut syndrome, where the lining of the gut becomes damaged and it allows harmful substances like toxins and undigested food particles to leak into the bloodstream. This can trigger inflammation, disrupt gut bacteria balance, and even lead to food sensitivities and autoimmune conditions. So not good, like not good shit. Stress can negatively affect the composition of the gut microbiome itself by promoting the growth of harmful bacteria while reducing beneficial microbiomes. This imbalance, which is again known as dysbiosis, can exacerbate digestive issues and contribute to conditions like irritable bowel syndrome or IBS, inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, and even gastroesophageal reflux disease, which is GERD. So to go a little bit more into a couple of those, so IBS is typically characterized by abdominal pain, bloating, and altered bowel movements, either diarrhea or constipation. There's IBS type D, which is typically diarrhea, or IBS type C, which is constipation. Acid reflux, or GERD, which again, gastroesophageal reflux disease, is essentially where your stomach acid is frequently backed up into the esophagus, which causes heartburn and discomfort. Acid reflux is also very commonly paired with IBS. Hey, guess what? If you have one stomach issue, it's really easy to like collect them all like a fucking Pokemon deck. Stomach ulcers can also occur due to the stress hormone cortisol, which can increase stomach acid production and weaken the stomach lining. So basically, stress impacts your gut-brain axis tremendously. It puts such an insane influence on the way that your body is digesting food, the way that your body is absorbing the nutrition from that food, and just what it's doing in your gut. A stressed brain can send signals to the gut, leading to changes in digestive, while digestive issues can also trigger stress and anxiety, creating a vicious cycle that worsens both mental and digestive health. I will give ya the 411 from a local IBS and acid reflux. I had a little bit of idiopathic gastroparesis for a while. That one was fun. It is like a terrible, terrible loop of, okay, so I'm stressed in life, which is causing digestive issues and gut issues. Then I'm stressed because I know that I have these gut issues and this digestive issues that impacts the rest of my life. So then it is quite literally this endless circle of like Stress because of your gut, but your gut is bad because you're stressed. Stress because of your gut, but your gut. Like, some of the ways that you can combat stress with foods. There is some foods that can help calm the nervous system and promote relaxation, like magnesium-rich foods and complex carbs. I'm not saying that eating these foods is going to magically take away all of your stress, but it does have a positive impact on the stress response in your body. Magnesium is a mineral that helps regulate the body's stress response by promoting relaxation and reducing muscle tension. Also, magnesium is really good to take before you go to bed. If you don't want to rely on melatonin, take some magnesium. Leafy greens such as spinach and kale, almonds, pumpkin seeds, avocados, bananas, and dark chocolate are all excellent sources of magnesium. Omega-3 fatty acids. We've talked about this, but these are found in fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, also known to reduce inflammation and support your brain health. Again, examples are like fatty fish, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds. Complex carbs. Hey, guess what? Don't be scared of carbs. Foods rich in complex carbohydrates helps stabilize your blood sugar levels and promote the production of serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that has a calming effect. Whole grains such as oats, quinoa, brown rice, sweet potatoes, and legumes are a big one, so like your beans and lentils. Herbal teas can also be helpful. Certain herbs have natural calming properties that help relax the nervous system. Chamomile and lavender, lemon balm. There's like passion flower tea. These are all known for their soothing effects and their relieving effects of anxiety and stress. Probiotic-rich foods, we've touched on those. That's your yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha, anything fermented, essentially. Berries and antioxidant-rich foods. Foods high in antioxidants can help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, which can contribute to anxiety and depression. Some high antioxidant foods are like blueberries, strawberries, dark leafy greens, and nuts, especially walnuts for some reason. So if you're needing a food that's high in antioxidants, get walnuts because they're really good for you. L-theanine. Theanine? I feel like I say it different every time I say it, but it's an amino acid found in tea that promotes relaxation without the drowsiness and can also help reduce stress and anxiety. It's in like green tea, black tea, and matcha. So matcha is also helpful if you're trying to reduce your caffeine consumption. If caffeine makes you anxious, which is me, drink matcha. It's a lot better alternative for you than traditional caffeine. Also, vitamin B-rich foods, especially foods rich in B12 and B6, support the nervous system by aiding in the production of neurotransmitters like your serotonin and dopamine, which regulates the mood and stress. Whole foods, eggs, leafy greens, legumes, the list goes on. So there is foods that can have like a direct link to your body's production of stress hormones and also how your body is reacting to those stress hormones. The gut plays a central role in regulating the immune system as well. It's home to a large portion of the body's immune cells and acts as the first line of defense against pathogens. Very brief explanation on how the gut contributes to immune regulation. First thing is like gut-associated lymphoid tissue. The gut contains gut-associated lymphoid tissue, which is a significant part of the body's immune system. It includes structures such as pairs, patches in the intestines where immune cells, like T cells and B cells, are activated to detect and respond to harmful invaders such as bacteria, viruses, toxins, etc., etc. Gut microbiome and immune function. The trillions of bacteria, viruses, fungi, and other microbes living in the gut, collectively called the microbiome, have a profound impact and influence on immune response. A balanced microbiome can help train the immune system to distinguish between harmful pathogens and harmful substances like food or beneficial microbes. Dysbiosis, again, can lead to an overactive or poorly regulated immune response, contributing to conditions like autoimmune diseases, allergies, inflammatory bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel diseases such as like Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Number 3, immune tolerance. The gut is constantly exposed to food particles, microbes, and other substances. The immune system in the gut helps develop tolerance to non-harmful substances while remaining vigilant against potential threats. This is such a critical part to preventing food allergies and inflammatory conditions. Number 4, production of immune molecules. The gut produces antibodies such as IgA or immunoglobulin A that helps neutralize harmful pathogens and prevent them from entering into the bloodstream. IgA also protects the mucosal surfaces of the digestive system. Number 5, cytokines and inflammation. Gut microbes influence the production of cytokines, which are signaling molecules that help regulate immune responses. These cytokines can promote or reduce inflammation. A balanced immune response is crucial for preventing chronic inflammation, which can contribute to autoimmune disease or chronic illnesses. Last but not least, Barrier function. The gut lining acts as a physical barrier that prevents harmful substances from entering your bloodstream. A healthy gut microbiome helps maintain the integrity of that barrier, preventing those conditions like leaky gut syndrome, where the gut lining becomes damaged, leading to systemic inflammation and immune system activation. So, lots of talk about autoimmune conditions, food allergies, etc., etc. I do want to go a little bit more in depth on a couple of these. I have like 5 that I think are important to talk about because I feel like a lot more people are dealing with symptoms similar to these autoimmune diseases or disorders that they don't really know what they are. So first one is like loss of immune tolerance. The gut microbiome plays a key role in helping the immune system differentiate between harmful pathogens and harmful substances. Again, the difference between food and your body's own tissue. If you didn't have that healthy microbiome and you didn't, like, if your immune system was not able to differentiate between those two things, your body would essentially eat its own stomach. Because instead of acknowledging the difference between the food that is ingested and the tissue that is surrounding your stomach, you would eat your own organs. An imbalanced microbiome can impair this immune tolerance, which leads to the immune system mistakenly attacking the body's own cells, which is a hallmark of autoimmune disorders. I would say like probably 90% of autoimmune disorders is the body attacking itself due to a dysfunction in one of these systems. For example, in conditions like celiac or multiple sclerosis, the immune system may begin to target the body's tissues as if they were foreign invaders. Number 2, increased gut permeability, leaky gut again. Dysbiosis can compromise the integrity of the gut lining, leading to increased gut permeability or leaky gut. This means that harmful substances like toxins, indigested food particles, and pathogens may leak into your bloodstream, again, triggering that immune response. Because if your body has proper immune tolerance and your body is understanding the difference between those foods and your own tissue, if some of those undigested food particles enter your bloodstream, your body is going to attack that. The result of that is your body also attacking those healthy cells and healthy tissues and things that are also in that bloodstream. The immune system may become overwhelmed and begin attacking not just those foreign invaders, but also the body's own cells. Back to autoimmune reactions. Chronic inflammation, number 3, an imbalanced microbiome can lead to chronic low-grade inflammation. Certain harmful bacteria in the gut can produce molecules that promote inflammation, which can spill over into the bloodstream and affect other organs and tissues. Over time, this persistent inflammation can drive the development of autoimmune conditions, such as the immune system becoming hyperactive and starts attacking healthy tissues. Number 4, altered production of immune signaling molecules. The gut microbiome helps regulate the production of cytokines. Again, cytokines are those signaling molecules that control your immune responses. In dysbiosis, your microbiome may produce an excess of those pro-inflammatory cytokines or disrupt the balance between pro and anti-inflammatory signals. If that makes sense, this imbalance can cause the immune system to become overactive, leading to the development of autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, type 1 diabetes, and lupus. Number 5, molecular mimicry. Certain gut bacteria can have surface proteins that resemble those found on the body's own cells. This phenomenon, which is known as molecular mimicry, can confuse the immune system because essentially now the defining physical characteristics of gut bacteria and your body's cells, there isn't that physical difference that your body can rely on to know the difference. When the immune system targets these bacteria, it may also mistakenly target the body's tissues because of that similar surface protein, which can trigger autoimmune responses. This mechanism is thought to play a role in conditions like rheumatoid fever and Guillain-Barré syndrome. That was a shit ton of information all at once, and I apologize for that. I hope that it all made sense because I think it's important. I feel like if I was to come here and just tell you, like, hey, here's, like, the next thing we're going to talk about is, like, stress management and how, like, ways that you can help positively influence your gut-brain connection. I feel like if I was just to come on here and be like, hey, by the way, here's how stress management is going to make your stomach feel better. Yes, it can be helpful, but if you do not have the information going into this on why things are happening in your body and why things may be happening in your body, what steps maybe like, what might be the cause of stomach issues, brain issues, etc., etc. Me giving you stress management skills doesn't really mean anything because if you're not directly contributing the stress management to inflammation in your brain or inflammation in your gut, whatever it is, if I'm just sitting here and giving you these random stress management things and I'm like, hey, this is going to make your gut feel better, is that truly helpful? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I feel like it wouldn't be. I feel like if I went into an episode not understanding the relation and the reasoning behind these things, these are less helpful. But let me know. But we are going to talk about so stress management, sleep, and physical activity can all play vital roles in supporting your gut health and maintaining a balanced gut-brain connection. A brief explanation of these. Number one is stress management. Chronic stress, again, disrupts the gut's normal functions by altering gut motility, increasing gut permeability, and promoting an imbalance in the gut microbiome, dysbiosis. That can lead to all of those things that we've talked about. The gut-brain axis is a bidirectional communication network. We talked about this earlier. So stress actually activates the sympathetic nervous system, which can reduce the blood flow to the gut. Again, we talked about that, how typically when your body is in that fight or flight mode, its natural response is going to be to reduce blood flow to your gut and push it towards other organs and muscles that need it. Managing stress through techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, mindfulness can help restore balance to the gut and reduce the negative impact of stress on the brain. How many times are we going to talk about mindfulness before y'all are sick of me talking about it? But I think just in general, finding the causes of your stress in life, whether that's work, school, people, whatever, finding what is causing your stress, and then finding the appropriate way to deal with that stress accordingly in your life. I can't sit here and give a list of 60 different ways to do stress management because it's not going to pertain to every single person. I think it's so situational based on what you are dealing with in your life and what the best management is for you. But reduce your stress. Deal with your stress. It's going to have such a huge impact on your gut-brain connection, your gut-brain health, and just how you're feeling. Again, sleep. We talk about sleep every fucking episode, but poor or insufficient sleep negatively affects the gut microbiome, reduces microbial diversity, and increases the growth of harmful bacteria. Sleep deprivation can also impact your gut motility, which again is that movement of food through your intestines, through your system. It can also disrupt the balance of hormones that regulate your hunger and digestion, such as ghrelin and leptin. Those are two super, super crucial hormones in our digestive pattern and the way that we digest food, the way that we feel hungry, all of these things. And if you are losing sleep, if you have bad sleep hygiene, or if you are just sleep deprived, the reduction in ghrelin and leptin, either the reduction of it or an imbalance of it, can make your life really fucking hard. It can make things really, really difficult. I always say your sleep is one of the most controllable things in your life for most people. I understand there is situations and there is reasons why people cannot control how they sleep, when they sleep, etc. I would say for 95% of people, sleep is one of the most controllable things in your health and wellness. You can create a good sleep routine, you can have good sleep hygiene, you can encourage yourself to get those 8 hours of sleep. There's such a good impact on every part of your body. Sleep is so crucial for maintaining the integrity of the blood-brain barrier and modulating inflammation. Chronic sleep disruption has been linked to increased levels of stress hormones. Again, this goes back to the stress management, which can exacerbate gut problems and disturb communication between the brain and the gut. Good quality sleep promotes a healthy gut microbiome and supports the gut-brain axis, improving mood, cognitive function, and digestive health. Physical activity. Move your body. Regular physical activity promotes the growth of beneficial gut bacteria and improves your gut motility. Hey, you ever feel really rough trying to digest your supper? Go for a walk 20-30 minutes after you eat. Guarantee it's going to help with your digestion. It aids in your digestion and reduces symptoms of constipation. Exercise can also enhance the production of those short-chain fatty acids by gut bacteria, which supports your gut health, reduces inflammation, and strengthens the gut barrier. Exercise also has a positive impact on the gut-brain axis by reducing cortisol, your stress hormone, improving your mood, stimulating the release of endorphins, which have a calming effect on the brain. Regular physical activity can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression by supporting gut and brain health. Now, aim for consistency when it comes to your physical activity. Engaging in moderate intensity exercise, such as a brisk walk, going for a jog, cycling, swimming, etc., for at least 150 minutes per week. Regular physical activity has been shown to increase the diversity of beneficial gut bacteria, which is key for your microbiome. Also, focus on aerobic exercises. Aerobic exercises such as running, cycling, dancing, essentially your cardio focused exercises can improve your gut motility, reduce that inflammation, and support a healthy gut microbiome. Studies also show that this type of exercise can increase the abundance of beneficial bacteria, such as firmicutes and bacteroidetes. I think that's it, which are associated with better digestive health. Also, incorporate strength training exercises such as weightlifting, resistance bands, bodyweight exercises, Pilates, etc., into your routine. Strength training not only builds your muscle, which, hey, guess what? Strength training helps promote your longevity in life, but it also supports metabolic health and gut function by promoting better digestion and nutrient absorption. Well, honestly, one of the biggest things is incorporating movement throughout your day. If you're unable to get a full workout all in one sitting, aim to stay active throughout the day by taking regular breaks from sitting. A quick walk after meals or standing for a few minutes can help digestion and maintain healthy gut motility. There is a good way to combine exercise and mindfulness for kind of like your maximum benefit for this. Combining physical activity with mindfulness by enjoying, like, going for a hike, go for a walk outside, swim outside if you can. These activities offer the benefit of both aerobic exercise and the calming effects of being outside, which can help reduce stress and improve mental clarity. Mindful movement practices like walking meditation or mindful yoga combine physical activity with focused attention on breath and body sensations. Go for a walk without a podcast. Go for a walk without music. Do some yoga in the morning. These can improve not only your gut health, but also just your emotional well-being in general. Mindful eating. That's a huge one with this whole concept of food and nutrition and your gut. Mindful eating. Pair your exercise and stress management practices with your mindful eating. Slow down and focus on chewing your food thoroughly, paying attention to the textures, flavors, smells, etc. Mindful eating can help improve digestion and reduce bloating, as well as enhance nutrients absorption. Don't watch TV while you're eating. I say that as somebody who watches TV while I'm eating 3 meals a day. Like, I'm terrible for just sitting with myself and eating a meal, not having some form of stimulation. I'm trying to get better. I would love to get to a point where, like, the hour of me cooking and eating, I'm not watching YouTube, I'm not on TikTok, I'm not doing whatever. I say it, but I'm not very good at it. But try to go for a walk without headphones. Like, try to go for a walk without listening to something and just being intentional with yourself and with that time. Couple more tips for, like, gut health through your lifestyle. Stay hydrated. I know we didn't really talk about that at all, but both exercise and mindful practices can promote better hydration. Drink so much water. Like, drink plenty of water throughout the day to help support that digestion, your gut motility, and the removal of waste. Hey, guess what? You're probably not drinking enough water. I know people love to think, oh, I drink so much water and blah, blah, blah. Realistically, you're probably not drinking nearly as much water as you think you are and not as much water as you should be. So drink water. Maintain a balanced diet. Obviously, a diet rich in fiber, probiotics, anti-inflammatory foods. These complement exercise and your mindfulness practices. Foods like your fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fermented foods, healthy fats, all of these things, they help provide the nutrients necessary to support a healthy gut microbiome. So if you're doing all this work to promote and support this healthy gut-brain connection, this gut microbiome, all of these things, and then you're eating like shit and wondering why you're not making any progress, a good chance is the fact that the food you're eating is not supporting the other work that you're putting into this. Also, prioritize your rest. While exercise and mindfulness are so incredibly important, adequate sleep is so much more crucial. Aim for those 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night to help restore your body, balance gut bacteria, and maintain healthy digestion. Because all of these things, like, I don't think people understand, and maybe they do and people just like to turn a blind eye to it. The food that you eat and the way that you physically feel when it comes to your digestion, your gut, all of these things, it has such an insane impact on the rest of your life. And people like to make a million other excuses. Like, people would rather drink greens powder in the morning than, like, actually focus on their gut issues because it's just easier. You know, I'm not fully dissing greens powders. I think if they're something that bring you joy and you like having a fun drink in the morning, great. But also do not rely on these things to fully eradicate all of your intestinal and digestive issues that you've caused via poor lifestyle and poor health. You know? I don't know. I I'm trying, like, I would argue that one of my intentions for the new year is to really put focus on my nutrition, especially when it comes to healing my gut, healing my microbiome, all of these things, because it is important. And it is something that helps promote longevity in your life. If you have a really bad stomach, your life's gonna be shit. Like, no pun intended. Like, your life is gonna be significant. The happiness and contentness that you feel in your life is going to be significantly reduced by the fact that you're also in pain and uncomfortable all the time because of your stomach, because of your food, because of this connection. Your brain is suffering, like, your mental health is suffering because your brain is suffering, because your gut is like, it is this endless chain of bad. So don't let it be bad. Use this as something that you want to work on. Use this as something as like, here's my goal for the next 12 months, or here's my goal for the next 5 years, whatever that looks like in your life. Here is my goal to improve this relationship between my gut and my brain, to improve just the health of my stomach, my digestive system, all of these things, because I guarantee your life is going to feel better. Like, truly. I don't say that about a lot of things, but I feel like your food and your nutrition have such a crucial impact on every other aspect of your life. And that's important. And you deserve to feel happy. You deserve to feel healthy. You deserve to not have stomach pain every day of the year. But anyways, that's all I've kind of got for this week, guys. I hope you liked this episode. Please give me tips. If you're on Spotify, I'll leave like the Q&A thing at the end of the episode so you can answer that, or leave in the comments if you're on YouTube, DM me on Instagram, whatever that looks like. Please give me insight as to A, did you like this episode at all? B, what are things I could do better to make the information more consumable for you? Because education can be really scary for a lot of people, especially when it comes to health and wellness, because there has for so long been that superiority in people who are providing education in health and wellness and fitness. Like, the whole industry, there has been a superiority complex in people who have access to education. I'm fortunate for the fact that I enjoy learning about shit like this. It makes me happy. I don't mind sitting for 10 hours and researching for an episode. Like, all of these things, I'm glad that it's something that I enjoy, and I'm glad that it's something that I find consumable. And I want to make it consumable for more people, because it is important, and so many people, whether it be they don't have the access to the information or they don't have access to the resources to understand the education or the information, I want to make this consumable for people. So please let me know if you listened all the way through. Thank you, first of all, because I really liked this episode. I think I like talking about this shit. I think it's really cool. But I do want to make sure that you guys actually enjoy it, and that it's also consumable for other people. So anyways, please let me know if you liked it, what your tidbits are, what your recommendations are. If you have topics that you want me to do these like deep dive episodes on, also let me know that, because I would love to have other people's input. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this episode. I'm very nervous that people aren't gonna like it, but that's okay. I'm trying to not get in my head about it. But I hope you guys liked this episode. If you listened all the way through, I appreciate you so much. You don't even understand. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a review, whatever else it is they let you guys do. Doesn't make a big difference for you guys, but it does make an insane difference for me. Also, Spotify Wrapped is coming out soon, and I'm so excited. It was so cool last year seeing like my side of Spotify Wrapped, seeing how many people listened and shared and all that. So hey, guess what? Go share my podcast with your friends if you want. But yeah, go follow me on Instagram for more like day-to-day life updates. EB Fit for the gym and wellness page. What's the Elevate with M podcast, EWE podcast, something. It'll be in the show notes. Emily Brilliard for my personal. We're on YouTube. I say it every week, and I'll continue to say it. So if you would rather watch a podcast, link will be in the show notes. But yeah. Remember that your health and your fitness and wellness is a lifelong journey, and it's not a one-stop destination. It's about making sustainable lifelong changes, and take it one step at a time. Be kind to yourself. Until next time, stay well and keep growing. We'll chat next week.